you know that indeed Ukraine is a great country with great hospitable people. We like to have guests, and our nature is just awesome. In order to persuade you, I just want to share one video together with you. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So please watch the video, and I would like just to know what is Ukraine. So you have seen the beauty of Ukraine. Indeed, our cities, villages, and towns, they were wonderful. Unfortunately, because the last year everything changed completely. And nowadays we have a very great grief in our country. And now I just have a video which will last approximately less than a minute, which will persuade you that we don't have any ancient buildings anymore. We can't admire our great and gorgeous architecture because everything was destroyed. So
I say what's beautiful about Ukraine, it's its people.
yeah, okay, just 1 second. Great. Okay, and you were the witness of the burnt houses, block of flats, and destroyed cities and towns of our beautiful motherland. Unfortunately, it's a real picture, and it can be seen all over the world. And a lot of people from the eastern as well as from the southern parts of Ukraine, they just moved to the west of Ukraine just on the first days of the war. And I also have prepared for you a presentation. It will be a little bit difficult to watch, but I know that you can just watch all the news on TV and you can listen it or read it in the internet, but you know that it's always more beneficial when you can just listen to a person who lives there, yeah, on the territory of Ukraine, I mean. And I just want to share with you presentation, and I will comment on the photos because I suppose that comments are needed here in order to understand all the sorrow and all the grief better. You know, this photo, you can see my screen, yeah? This photo was taken just on the 24th of February, and while a lot of people were just escaping from cities and towns to some villages or to the western part of Ukraine. And this boy, he is approximately 5, he was just lost from his parents, and it took parents for approximately 3 days to find this child. So nobody could not help him because he didn't know. He was, I suppose that he was afraid. He had the explosions, he saw missiles, and he saw a lot of tanks and soldiers near his house, and he was afraid to speak with strangers. So parents could not find him because he could not speak, he could not answer where he was from or how old was he, yeah? And he could not provide anybody with any situation about him. And this photo was very famous all over Ukraine, and due to the mass media, parents were able to find their child, yeah, and to return him to the family. So in order not to repeat, not to have the same occasions with children, there were some tricks done on the children's back when parents just put down their name, surname, and parents' phone numbers. And you know, when I saw this photo for the first time, it was a kind of a nightmare to write. I can just imagine the mother who was writing the number of her telephone on the child's back, because she clearly understood that the child just could miss any minute as people were escaping from their homes, and you can just see the crowds of people, not just crowds, but like millions of people at the railway station. So they are leaving their homes, and here in this crowd of people, it's difficult not to be missed, you know? And in order not to miss the child, people were just doing such kind of tricks. So it was a kind of disappear, and nobody knew where to go, where to rush, and what to take with you. And as a matter of fact, we understood just the smallest thing, that the dearest things are always with you. They are your children and, of course, your old parents. So, and there were even no time for people to gather, for example, suitcases here and to put their jewelry. The only things and the only people whom they were able to take, of course, were small children and their parents. Then the most difficult situation was, of course, with children, but as well as with elderly people, because they are also very often disabled, and it's the first reason. And very often old people, they don't want to leave their homes. They want to stay in their flats, in their houses, and maybe they don't understand till the end the tragedy which can happen to them, you know, because when they live in debris, so they can be killed in any minutes. So it's quite a dangerous place for them to stay there, and nobody could persuade them to leave their house and to move to some other places. And here you can see it was like a kind of artificial flood, which was done quite by accident, and so soldiers help old people just to make their way to some kind of a safety.